too, where the people that these things offend are not the people who are being offended.
No.
Right? Like if you say, pick your group of people to be offended, it's not them.
No.
It's the people that are like, that's not right. I need to defend these people.
I mean, people who are offended on their behalf?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's 95% is, I don't know, people who just don't have enough struggle in their own life, so they decide to take on the cause of like someone who they perceive to be being victimized by other people, which in itself is kind of a form of like discrimination to me. Like that group of people doesn't need you to defend them. They're grown adults. They can come in and defend themselves.
And what if you're offended by that person's sensitivity? Is that a tie then?
I have
or their fragility, like
I have turned this before because I lived in New York City, followed by Los Angeles.
Oh, good.
So I really learned how to navigate these waters. And if I were to ever say anything that offended someone, I would just turn around and be like, "Well, I'm sorry that my life didn't afford me the privilege to learn how to talk fancy like you." I grew up in such a way that I wasn't afforded the opportunity to actually know these fancy ways of speaking that you do. And now that you've turned this on me, I feel very, very like
How do they respond to
marginalized.
that?
Sometimes they really fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." But most of the time they'd be like, "Yeah, fuck you. You know what you said."
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I had the fortunate or unfortunate circumstance of being raised by my father past the age of 9, which he's not the most politically correct person, nor is any other male representative in my family to begin with. They're all very manual labor, blue collar loggers. So I don't even have the capacity. I can turn it on for really finite amounts of time. Like I can turn it on, turn it off. Sure. Like you want me to be buttoned up and not use the F word. Got it. I can do that. I can jump on Fox News and do that piece, or I can come over and do something that's more really much more familiar to me. And I think I'm way more comfortable just being myself, obviously, like, because I think all of us are, but this world, and what I equate it to is, like, if you want me to pretend like Santa Claus is real, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to live in this world where you think that there's never any jokes that are put out there where people are going to be offended. Like, that's the nature of comedy, actually. Brian Callen was sitting here the other day, and if you're going to be so offended by the noises that that are being made by air moving across things that are vibrating in my fucking head, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I really just don't. It's like there are things that you can be upset and passionate about, but the noises people are making, like, really, that's where we're at? Like, wow, talk about comfort. We have really made it as a country, as a society, where you can be so offended and that becomes like the thing that everybody's worried about. It's like, wow, you guys are so fat and happy at this point. You're just like quite literally worried about the most ridiculous items because we have all of our basic needs. And I don't want to say everybody does, but it's like, man,